So we are so excited today. We are here together because we're experiencing Fan X tomorrow. It's going to be so fun. So we had to make a bunch of fun videos. And so we're filming this on the 18th of April.
Yes.
And I'm Rachel, and of course this is Larry from LCScreenTalk. And we are here to talk about the first quarter of the movie year.
Almost third, really. This is the only April release really left is Endgame.
Yes.
That we haven't seen. And
so we're talking about the highs, the lows, the surprises, the disappointments, all that fun stuff of the year so far.
Yes.
And so let's start off positive.
Okay.
We do that. Our favorite films of the year so far, and I'm not including the Sundance films that I saw that haven't been released yet. Okay. If they've been released, then I count it. So what is your number one on your list?
So my number one, I know, is much lower on your personal list. But it has yet to be dethroned. We'll see if Endgame can get the job done. But still in, and number one for me personally, is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. I just loved the movie. I thought it was pretty much everything I was hoping for from this conclusion. Obviously, that ending was just like, oh God, it was so heart-wrenching, but yet still happy. So I thought they did a great job of balancing that. Toothless is great, and I personally loved the romance. What? When it's with dragons, I guess I'm okay with it. But I loved the romantic subplot between Toothless and the Light Fury. That was both funny and endearing and really sweet. Yeah. And then seeing Hiccup kind of go on his own personal journey was really great as well. I do acknowledge that I do think Astrid is a little bit undercut, as is his mom, in the roles that they're given in this film. The mom almost doesn't do anything. Yeah. When she had she was such a fighter in that second film, that was basically her character. Yeah. So Astrid has her own role to kind of play, but it's very much quite literally a supportive role to Hiccup in his lesson. But I thought the villain was strong. I thought the new dragons we received were beautiful. Oh, some of those dragon designs were so cool. The iridescent look to their scales was amazing. The animation was beautiful. When we went into the Hidden World, I was awestruck. Oh, yeah. It was so gorgeous. And then this original score. I mean, every single score from this series has been top notch, and they concluded with yet another one. So I love it personally, and it's still my favorite film of 2019 so far.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I definitely gave it fresh. And I like all those things that you said. I guess the reason why it's not in my top three is just because some of the action got a little long for me. But that's just me being weird about action scenes, probably. And then also, I thought that the girl that's sort of taunting the captors, she was sort of annoying to me.
The Kristen Wiig character.
Yeah, she wasn't.
I forget if she's not a rat. I forget.
Yeah, she wasn't my favorite. But overall, I think it's really strong. I wish there had been more flying too. I love the flying scenes in that series. It's so beautiful. So I can see why that's your number one. So my number one so far this year is The Mustang. And this movie, I think, did such an incredible job. Matthias Schoenaerts, if I said that right, is great in this role because he is so rage-filled. He's such an angry person. And you start to sort of see as the movie goes on why he's so angry, why he's so bitter. And as he works with this horse that's also very angry and very wild, and sort of their journeys kind of mimic each other in a way. And I thought the ending was so satisfying. What happens with the horse was great. And you get Bruce Dern in it's got to be one of his last roles. He was great as this sort of head of this prison. And I just really was invested in this really angry character, which I think takes a lot, a really good performance, really good writing to have a role like that. And so it was a very good movie.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah. So that's my number. What's your number two?
So for number two, I have Us. So I was thinking maybe this one could challenge How to Train Your Dragon as my number one top pick. But it did, especially upon rewatch, come in just under. But I loved most everything about First of all, Lupita Nyong'o is so good. Oh, her performance is amazing. As both characters, she delivers just everything you needed her to deliver, and maybe even more. Especially when you go back and rewatch it, I think her character and the decisions she makes with that character are just really, really strong. But our entire cast, I thought, was really good. We had some really strong child actors working in this film as well. And Winston Duke was really fun in the role. He didn't quite give a powerhouse performance like Lupita, but he was still bringing a lot of levity to the film and some of the tougher moments. Mm-hmm. Plus, talk about sound design. The sound design of this movie is probably perfect. I can't think of a single scene where the sound was anything but perfect, from the score to the way they utilized it to just everything about it was so amazing. And I think the allegory really worked for me about society and what the film has to say. I guess I took the film a little bit less in a literal sense than others, and that's why I don't quite have the problems in logic that I know many people do, which is definitely a fair criticism when it comes to like plot holes or logical fallacy, especially with the twist in the end and these people. But I didn't take it literally, and I took it much more metaphorically, so I was okay with those. But I thought it was creepy. I thought it delivered the tension, it delivered the scares, and it kept me thinking long after I saw it, in particular that first time, and it's definitely stayed with me. So it's my second favorite film so far.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely another one that was fresh for me. I had more fun with it when it was kind of more comedy, and they were kind of, beating the zombies, and I like that kind of thing better than the existential part. And I didn't really, I guess, understand what he was trying to say. Like, I wanted to like it on a metaphorical level, but because I didn't really get it, and maybe I'm just dumb, but I didn't understand the point he was trying to make, and I just was left kind of baffled. And so the ending didn't really work for me, but I still thought, as a whole, the good outweighed the bad. So it was definitely fresh for me. I agree with the performances. I really liked it. I kind of wish it could just stayed sort of a fun, goofy zombie horror movie. For me, I think it would have been better. But he got a little too sort of big for his britches, in my opinion, in that last act. That's my feeling. So
I think we both can agree it doesn't pull off its messaging as effectively as Get Out did its debut feature.
For sure. So my number 2 is just purely, I know it has its flaws, but it just made me laugh, was Isn't It Romantic? I was so excited going into it. I was in a theater that everybody was primed, everybody was in for it, everybody was laughing, and we were all laughing together. And you saw when I showed you that clip of a Hallmark movie that you're like, wow, they really did like mimic what's in this movie. The
scene,
the
setting was identical.
Yeah, it really was. And so I think that's why it was so particularly funny to me, because it was making fun of something that's literally the walk and talk and the everyday of my life. And I just thought little things were so hilarious, like when her friend, her assistant, is her good friend starting out, and then when she goes into the romantic world, it's her mortal enemy. And I thought that was so funny, such a funny little jab at Devil Wears Prada. It's definitely Emily Blunt in there. There were a lot of people, I think, get annoyed by Easter eggs in movies, that I don't understand why. I think that's fun. I don't get it, why they don't like it. But I liked it. I thought it was cool that there were many outfits of hers there were supposedly over like 125 something references within the movie to various romantic comedies. Like even her clothes, her opening outfit is right from, she leaves the hospital, is right from Pretty Women. And I just think that's fun to me. That's enjoyable. And like when she would wake up and see this like handsome doctor, and she's like, what's going on? And that was funny to me. And I just really enjoyed it. And I think that her and Adam Devine have good chemistry. They've worked together before. And so I was able to buy that enough to still enjoy it. And I love, like, every time she tries to swear, there's one of the
like bus.
Yeah.
The semi-diesel, yeah.
It's so funny. Emily, that's a joke that just kills it for me. I love that. It's so funny. And She's like, it's PG-13. It was so funny, and even her dog has changed, and that was funny. And she's calling 911. She's like, they took all my stuff and replaced it with nicer stuff.
I just love the one. So you're telling me your house is too big and you have too many clothes for your closet. Bye. Like, girl.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So I just thought it was really, really funny. I've actually seen it twice. It's one of the only movies this year I've seen twice. So there you go. That's my number 2.
So both of my top 2 are definitely repeat viewings for me as well so far this year. For Isn't It Romantic, I think there's a lot to really have fun with in the film. I think Liam Hemsworth continues to show that it's not just a pretty face and nice body. He was really funny, really down for the whole joke of it all. And I thought him and Rebel Wilson were funny together. I thought it got a little bit repetitive in the joke. For me personally, I didn't think it quite pulled off the romance it was trying to pull off. But overall, I mean, it's nowhere near my worst of the year. I thought it was fun. It was funny for what it was. And
which is saying something for you. Like, if you found it watchable, you usually don't like it. So I think that says something.
Yeah.
What do you have? What's your number 2?
So my number 3.
3.
So and at number
right. Sorry.
So in at number 3 for me, I have the Mustangs. We have one same pick in our top 3.
It's so good.
But I thought this movie was so good. It was so well executed. And I think it's the parallel between the horse and the man and their growth together as they move through the movie that is just so well done that it really spoke to me. I really connected with the film on a lot of levels, and as she said, that's such a feat because this character near killed someone in a bit of a rage, as we find out as we move through the movie. That's why he's in prison. And as you continue to just like peel back these layers, we see him get violently angry several times throughout the film, but yet you're still endeared by this character, yet he's still so empathetic and draws you in. Matthias Schoenaerts is so good in this movie. And honestly, probably right up there with Lupita Nyong'o. His performance is one of my top acting performances of the year. I really think it's stellar work. And then the horse program, I didn't really know, and I'm from Colorado, and Colorado is one of the states who still does it. It was very interesting to learn about that horse program, though I'm a little bit conflicted overall on what they showed in this film and what goes on there, but it still is a positive program for these inmates, and I thought the ending was still very realistic to a high degree.
And I was so scared.
Satisfying.
I was so scared it was going to end differently.
Yeah. They definitely lead you to like but then they pull it back into a more realistic ending, and you're like, okay, I'm on board with this.
Realistic, but really redemptive.
But really, for both the horse and the man, they both get like this redemption arc. Everything doesn't go as expected. He's like really hoping for a family moment. And those family moments aren't always going to come. And I think that a lot of times when we have these type of films, I love to see them rooted in that more realistic grit. So the Mustang was great. It's really falling in line. I thought we had 2 really strong horse-related films last year. So to follow that up this year with another really strong horse-related film, they're on a roll. And this one was one.
You're an indie director, horse.
And if you are someone looking for something to watch, I definitely recommend you seek this out. It's a small film. Not a lot of people are talking about it. Not a lot of people are seeing it. So seek it out. Give it your support because it definitely deserves it.
Definitely agree. So my number 3 is the Penguin Highway, it's called. And this is an anime film that is really, really interesting. It's about this kid. He's 10, I think, 10 or 11, and he starts in their town. All of a sudden, the appearance of all of these penguins. And that's not where they normally habitate, is these penguins. And there starts to be kind of this, he starts to investigate the mystery of what these penguins are, where are they coming, and it gets a little bit sci-fi. It reminded me a lot of Stranger Things. And in the sense of this kid kind of, there's this mystery to it. This kid's kind of investigating the paranormal, the science fiction, the kind of a thing. And there's this woman who is kind of tied to the Penguins, and it's sort of similar in Stranger Things. There's the character named Eleven, who is this girl, and so it's kind of similar in that way. And I found it really sweet and funny and moving and beautifully animated. It's a good mystery, I think. The only downside to it is sort of, I think that they should have had the female character be like 11 and be the same age as the boy. It's sort of weird because she's like a female character and he's like very kind of like a 10-year-old kid would be kind of fixated sometimes on like a woman's breasts or a woman's like kind of he sort of is kind of like a little bit, you know.
Too much.
Yes. And also there's sort of some weird hints that they're like somehow gonna end up together, which is like weird.
Oh no.
So but it's a pretty minor part of the movie, so I'm able to forgive it. But it would have been better if it had been
just
somebody
there or her younger.
Yeah, if she had been the same age like 11 is in Stranger Things. But if you like science fiction, if you like something that's creative, that surprises you, it was very unpredictable to me. I didn't know what was going to happen. And so it's one that I think something we're supporting. Check it out.
Awesome. That's one I haven't seen, so I can't comment on that one.
So so there's lots of good stuff to look out for. If you haven't seen any of these films, I like all of your choices, and I like all of my choices, obviously. My choices. And so check them out. And where can people find you?
You can find me here on YouTube as well as Instagram and on Twitter, all at LCScreenTalk.
Great. And we'll have that all in the description section. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, and on iTunes and YouTube. So make sure to check that out and subscribe to the channel. And we really appreciate that. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.